in these 292 members, 210 were general seats and 78 allotted for the Muslim League and also 4 seats for the Sikh. So here, after these elections, Indian National Congress and Muslim League party both are secured majority in general seats, and in some areas Muslim seats also Muslim League party got respectively. So here the British government also made it clear that it could not be force any section or community to accept the constitution. So apart from this elections, the Constituent Assembly created for this to write the constitution for better constitution for the India. So at that time, in the leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Jawaharlal Nehru, Babu Rajendra Prasad, and many intellectuals like Maulana Azad, Sarojini Naidu, Babu Jagjeevan Ram, many others actively participated in the debates and the sessions conducted by the Constituent Assembly. So the Constituent Assembly constituted around 22 committees to get better futures for the Indian constitutions. Overall, around we have been observed, we have been borrowed such best futures for the Indian constitution around 60 countries constitutions around the world. So the Constituent Assembly among these 22 committees created a drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to write the constitution for the India. So this Constituent Assembly has been created for the sake of to write a perfect constitution for the India. So in the part of the making of this constitution, this Constituent Assembly was held a meeting, first meeting on December 9th, 1946. So in this meeting, discussions has made to create a separate constitution and better constitution for the India. So the foundations of the Indian constitution and many objectives has been discussed several consecutive Constituent Assembly debates. So in that, many resolutions has been made by the Constituent Assembly to look forward to write about perfect constitution for the Indian state. So after that, many constitutions has been observed by the drafting committee members, and also many previous British government of India acts also have been observed, and many things borrowed from these acts also. So if we discuss about the major sources for the Indian constitution and what are the influences are there on this making of this Indian constitution. So in the part of this sources of this constitution, as we discussed in the previous classes, like many such British Indian government acts like 1909 and 1919 Act and also 1935 Act, particular acts are there that acts are influenced our constitution to give better administration for the Indian people. So many provisions from these 1919 Act and 1935 Act has been borrowed and kept under our new constitution. So many several constitutions also there. So in the process of borrowing several provisions and features from the other constitutions, like we have borrowed many things from the British constitution, like Westminster system, and also all matters relating to the parliamentary form of system, which we are continuing from the independence to present day. We have been borrowed this type of parliamentary form of government is borrowed from the British constitution. And also we have been borrowed many things like rule of law, nominal executive, parliamentary supremacy, and also single citizenship, and many other things from the England, so like British Constitution. So many provisions also borrowed from the United States of American Constitution, like we have fundamental rights, judicial review, and impeachment of the president procedure from procedure, and also procedure for removal of judges of Supreme Court has been drawn from the Constitution of the USA. So, and also we have borrowed uh, emergency process of the president, means emergency powers of the president, and related issues, related features has been borrowed from the Constitution of Germany. So, and also we have been borrowed directive principles of state policy from the Irish Constitution. So, like overall, this Constant Assembly and drafting committee took overall 2 years and 11 months, 18 dates to write Constitution. So, and also we have borrowed some provisions like concurrent list, which is borrowed from the Australian Constitution, and also we have implementing federal form of government, like federal means we have uh, government is divided, and government to provisions divided between the center and state, like central government to state governments respectively. So the administrative items has been divided in the this process of federal structure. So these federal structure or federal form of government system has been borrowed from the Canadian Constitution. So, and also we have borrowed strong central government and powers of the state governments, also borrowed from the Constitution of Canada. So, in this process, uh, uh, we have given more powers to the central government than state government. So that's what, in case of emergency, in case of any emergency situation, in the part of like in the grounds of national emergency or state emergency, means our constitutional emergency or financial emergency, at that time entire administration are in several parts of the which area is disturbed by this area, at that time that entire administration has been vested with the central government. So this system is borrowed from the Canadian Constitution. And also we have motivated, and we have uh, borrowed best ideas of like uh, liberty, equality, and fraternity. These ideal issues, ideal provisions has been borrowed from the French Constitution. So at that time in 1789, we have observed that French Revolution is held in 1789. At that time, many other countries than French, means France, observed that their ideology, their motive, and their spirit of agitation against the colonial rulers observed and borrowed such ideals like liberty, idea of liberty, idea of equality, and fraternity. Like many countries, like developing nations like India, has been borrowed these ideals for their uh, movements. So at that time, we have also borrowed procedure established by law, the formula of procedure established by law in the name of right to life and right to liberty. These things borrowed from the Japanese Constitution. And also we have procedure of amendment the constitution system, means constitutional amendment system has been borrowed from the South African Constitution. So under Article 368, we have observed, we have maintaining this constitutional amendment system in our constitution. So in later, we will discuss about this constitutional amendment system. So after that, after many years, means after enactment of the constitution, after implement of the constitution, we have been amended many times. After that, we have been added some of features too. So at the time of enactment of the constitution, we have 395 articles and 22 parts and divided into 8 schedules. So at the time, we have, when we are enacted and implementing our constitution at the date of 26 January 1950, we have how many articles are there? 395 articles divided into 22 parts and 8 schedules. So after implementation, after came in this constitution of India came into force from the 26 January 1950 onwards, till now we have been amended our constitution for the purpose of better administration to the people. We have been amended more than 100 times to our constitution, and some of items deleted and some of items has been added to the our constitution for the sake of better administration of the people of India. So if we observe now, we are having more than 480 articles divided into 24 parts, and 12 schedules are there till date. So actually, we have to observe that the original number of articles are 395 articles only. The original structure of the constitution is having articles only 395. We are telling that around 480 plus articles are there in our constitution. So the extra added articles are kept under the subdivision of original article. So if we observe that, if we observe, for example, an article right to education under article 21, I think. So that is kept under subclass. Like if we observe, best idea is fundamental duties. Fundamental duties are borrowed from the Soviet Union, and also that is kept under the part of 4 subclass A and article 51 subclass A. So 51 article is there, and also we are having 51 subclass A. So the 51 subclass A tells about these fundamental duties. So the original number is 51 only. So we are added extra sub in the name of sub article 51 subclass A, that is extra added. So if we count this type of extra added articles, we are having more than 480 articles are there. Around many articles also there. So the original number is only 395 articles are there in our constitution. So if we discuss about the salient features of the Indian constitution that are mentioned in our syllabus, we are having like many salient features are there. So if we see, we are having around 15 salient features are mentioned here. Just I will read out, and later we will discuss about this. The first one is written and lengthy constitution, and second one is rigid and flexible constitution, and third one is sovereign socialist secular democratic republic, and fourth one is parliamentary form of government, and fifth one is federal structure of unitary bias, and the sixth one is fundamental rights, and seventh one is fundamental duties. Next, eighth one is directive principles of state policy, and ninth one is independent judiciary, and 10th one is single citizenship, and 11th universal adult franchise, and 12th one is emergency powers, and next special safeguards for SC, ST, OBC, minorities and women, and also we are having some constitutional commissions, and also we have special feature of judicial review, that is the purpose of protection of constitution that is vested in the hands of higher courts like Supreme Court, and also we are having for the high courts also. So these important salient features are mentioned in our syllabus. So if we discuss about these salient features of the Constitution of India, the first one is the written and lengthy constitution. So before that, as part of our syllabus, we have the concept of preamble of the constitution. So this is also we can call it as one of the important salient features of our constitution. So here, if we discuss about this preamble, the concept of preamble has been observed that the Constituent Assembly in their meetings, the object to resolution approved by the Constituent Assembly on January 22nd of 1947 became the preamble of the Constitution. So as observation of many modern political thinkers like Granville Austin and many others observed that the preamble is like an identity card of the Indian Constitution. So if we observe that the preamble of Constitution is tells about the entire motive, entire structure of the our Constitution. So the preamble of India also tells about the basic structure of the our Constitution of India. So if we observe the preamble of India starts with the words like we the people of India. It means the Constitution tells about the basic principle of this Constitution has been especially created for the people, and also the source of authority from the people. So we the people of India means the Constitution entirely belongs to the people of India, and also the highest authority goes to the people of India. So the preamble of Indian Constitution describes India as sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. We will discuss it in next item, salient features of Constitution. So the preamble has been important for the this Constitution of India. It is tells about the main objectives and aims of the Constitution in clear-cut terms, like that it provides justice for the people in several ways, like in the form of social, economic, and political spheres. The Constitution guarantees justice to the people of India, and also the preamble guarantees that it to its citizens in the name of liberty of thought and freedom of expression of thoughts and beliefs, faith and worship. And also the preamble ensures that to its citizens in the equal status, equality of status and equality of opportunities in all ways, like in the name of recruitments, in the name of employment, in the name of opportunities provided by the government. So, and also it promotes among all citizens the fraternity by assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and the integrity of the nation. So in latter days, many thinkers has been observed that the Constitution of India is, in simple words, the preamble says entire the Constitution of India into about their goals and aims and objectives of the Constitution in a single statement. So if we discuss about the various salient features of the Indian Constitution. That is, number one is written and lengthy Constitution. So, as we discussed, we are borrowed many things from the other constitutions. We have been observed, we have been borrowed more than 60 constitution, and also we have borrowed many provisions from the British government Indian acts like 1919 and 1935. We have borrowed and kept under the our constitution of India. So as we discussed, we are having original articles are 395. Later on, we have been added many articles, around 480 plus articles are there in present time. So that's what looking our constitution as a lengthiest constitution. So we from time to time, we are modifying, we are deleting some provisions which are not related at present times. So that's what the constitution became a lengthiest constitution. So around more than 100 times we have been amended our constitution, and also we are maintaining the basic structure of the constitution from time to time. So our constitution is especially created for the sake of our people of India. So for the many reasons for the need of the people, we are amending from time to time. So that's what it is became as a lengthiest constitution. So in the initial stages at the time of enactment of the constitution, we have only 395 articles. At present time, we are having more than 480 articles are there in our constitution of India. So firstly, it is a single constitution, but later on we are in the process of better administration to provide the people of India. We have been divided in government into three stages. We are having central government, we are having state government, we are having also local governments. So in initial stages, we are having only two types of governments. So later, in the name of 73rd and 74th Amendment, we are given constitutional status to the local governments. So later we are added many provisions to the Constitution of India. Even fundamental duties also not there at the initial stages of implementation of Constitution of India. In the name of 42nd Amendment, which is made in 1976, we are borrowed the fundamental duties for the India from the Soviet Russia. So many issues also has been kept in our constitution from time being, and also we are added many special provisions for the protection of backward classes and also backward areas and tribal areas, and also we have added many provisions, special provisions for the protection of scheduled caste people and scheduled tribes. So that's what in the grounds of all these added features, the constitution has become as a lengthiest constitution. So if we observe the meaning of written constitution, all the provisions, all the articles has been in the written format. So if we discuss about the written format, we are borrowed from the many constitutions, but for the sake of Indian state, for the need of the Indian people, we have chosen only best or better features for the Indian constitution and kept into our constitution. So that's what the Constitution of India is clearly says, that our constitution is entirely in the written format only. So if we discuss about unwritten constitution, the difference between written and unwritten constitution is simply written means the provisions or objectives or articles are like these important features has been clearly in the form of written format. If we discuss about unwritten constitution, the difference between the written and unwritten constitution, unwritten constitution depends upon in the beliefs or agreements or the provisions made by their rulers, not in the form of written document. So that is the difference of written and unwritten constitution. So for unwritten constitution, the written constitution is best example for the unwritten constitution. For written constitution, America and Indian constitution is best example for the written constitution. And one more important salient feature is rigid and flexible constitution. So this means we have discussed about amendment system, constitutional amendment system. So the amendment procedure is borrowed from the South African constitution and kept under the article 368, says that the Indian constitution is having different provisions to amend the constitution of India. That is, first one is simple majority, and second one is special majority, and that means semi-rigid mode method. So, and third one is special majority plus approval of at least 50% of state assembly. So this is a rigid method. So rigid flexed means if the provisions are easy to amend, that is called as flexible constitution. If there is unable to amend or unable to change anything in the constitution in the process of amendment system is not so easy, that is called rigid constitution, a rigid amendment system. So if we discuss about these three types of constitutional amendment in three stages, in simple words, first one is simple majority. Simple majority means at the time of parliament session, if we want to amend the constitution at that discussion, only simple majority means 2/3 majority of present members of the that session. So at the time of discussion in the parliament, at the time of voting on the special issue or amendment system, at that time, simple majority means those who are present in the session. Means, for example, if our parliament members are total number of parliament members is in Lok Sabha 545, 543 elected and 2 nominated by the President of India. In that 545, if we discuss about this simple majority, there are only 300 members are present in that voting. At that time, simple majority means 2/3 of majority means simple majority. When 300 members are present, 200 members need to support that amendment system. So 2/3 means 2/3. So 2/3 members has to accept that issue to amend the constitution. That is called as simple majority. For special majority means we are having 545 members, right? Total number of members of Lok Sabha is 545. In that 545, all the members have to attend the session, and in that discussion, after the discussion of the that amendment system, the in voting session, entire members of the Lok Sabha, in that total number of MPs, at least 2/3 members is special majority. Means not like a simple majority. In simple majority, only 2/3 majority of present members. But here in special majority, there has to be a special majority, means all the members have to attend the session for the voting. In that 545 members, the 2/3 majority has to be there to amend the constitution. So this is a semi-rigid method. And third one is special majority plus the consent, the approval of the state assemblies to be needed. So in that, special majority means the both houses of the parliament has to be approved that thing with the 2/3 majority, and also at least 50% of state assemblies approval also there. So this is a rigid method. So later many experts discussed Indian constitution as a mixed constitution, means we are having rigid and flexible constitution. So we are having, for the simple amendment, we are having flexibility to amend easily without consent of the states governments. So for example, AP reorganization bill 2013 is best example for the simple majority or flexible amendment system. So at the time of formation of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh states in the name of AP reorganization bill 2013, there is no need of approval of the present assembly. At that time, Andhra Pradesh government has been rejected that bill in the AP assembly, but there is no use for the state assembly's decision to create two different states by the central government. So at that time, Kiran Kumar Reddy was at the position of chief minister and leader of assembly. So he rejected that AP reorganization bill 2013, but the central government is not approved that thing, and they are having right to create under the article of 3 of the Constitution of India to create any new state or to change boundaries in the name of article 3. The central government, means parliament, has created 2 new states. So that is the best example for the flexible amendment system. So we are having a special feature of constitution is we are having sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic features for the Constitution of India. So here, if we discuss about the sovereign, in previous classes you are all are aware about the sovereignty. Sovereignty means supreme power. So here, if we observe about supreme power, that is clearly according to the Constitution of India, the sovereignty, supreme power belongs to the people. So in the name of this sovereignty, the supreme power has been vested in the hands of President of India. So President of India also acted as our head of the state in the name of our Constitution of India. So we are having supreme authority over the India. So there is no external forces, external influence on the Indian state. So in the process of administration, there is no extra other countries influence on our policy making. So that's what we are having supreme authority over the India. So that's what we are calling as India as a sovereign nation. So we are having republic too. Republic means after getting independence, we have been created a separate constitution, and we are having rulers as a elected by the people. So there is no hereditary, there is no like what we say in Telugu, రాజరిక పాలన. సో మనం ఎట్లా అంటే కేవలం ఎన్నికల ద్వారా మాత్రమే మనం పాలకులను ఎన్నుకుంటున్నాం, వారసత్వంగా కాదనేది ఇక్కడ రిపబ్లిక్ యొక్క ఉద్దేశం. సో రిపబ్లిక్ మీన్స్ We are having only elected president, elected governments are there in India. So we are electing prime minister, we are electing member of parliaments, we are electing MLAs. MLAs are electing chief minister. We are electing member of parliaments. They are electing uh, prime minister of India, and also president of India also elected by the people only in the name of indirect election. So we are not electing directly our president of India. Our elected representatives of Lok Sabha and elected members of assemblies are electing president of India in indirect method. So that's what we are calling as a India as a republic country. So we are having special constitution. We are ruling ourselves. There is no external forces are entering our administration system. So we are also having special feature of democracy. Democracy means this democracy term has been came from the Latin word demos plus cratio. Two different words are there. Demos means people, cratio means rule. So, rule by the people. So, former American President Abraham Lincoln says that democracy means for the people, of the people, by the people. So, the entire administration, entire government system is made for the benefit of the people. So that's what India has been adopted this democratic system for the administration. So the terms socialist and secular words are not there at the time of implementation of the Constitution of India. Later on, in 1976, in the name of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, we have been added socialist and secular words to the our preamble. So, what is the meaning of socialist? Socialist or socialism means equal opportunities to the people, and also the governments should facilitate the basic minimum needs like food, shelter, and means accommodation and basic needs like all other things like drinking water, food, etc. So the state government means governments in the name of any stages like state government or central government or local government. The governments are uh, uh, stand for the minimum to provide basic needs for the people. That's what we are calling as socialist system. And also we are added one more special provision is secular. Secular means nothing but freedom of religion. Means secular means if we discuss about secularism, according to the Constitution of India, we have been adopted this freedom of religion and kept under the articles from Article 25 to 28. 25th article to 28th articles are there in our constitution in the part of 3 in the name of fundamental rights. In the fundamental rights, we have been discussing about this freedom of religion from the article 25 to 28, 25, 26, 27, 28. So these articles are tells about the freedom of religion by the state. So secular means according to the Constitution of India, there is no official religion for the India. So the government is not supporting any particular single religion for the government or for the state. According to the Constitution, all the religions are same. There is no special provisions are guaranteed by the state. So the government and the people should respect all the religions in the equal manner. So equal respect to the religions. So according to the Constitution of India, we are not supporting, the government not supporting any particular single religion. So according to the Constitution of India, the government is guaranteeing equal equality to the all the religions. That's what India is maintaining this secular system. So there is no official religion is there in India for if we discuss about population wise or anything else. We are having only all the religions are same according to the Constitution of India. So we are having also special feature of parliamentary form of government. So parliamentary form of government, already we have discussed, that thing has been borrowed from the British constitution. In the name of parliamentary form of government, we are having parliament at the center level, and also we are electing our member of parliament. Parliament members has been elected for the both houses, like we are having Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is there now in parliament. We are electing our MPs in the direct mode. In the name of direct election, we are electing our Lok Sabha members to create government for the India. So in this parliamentary tradition, this entire from the British Constitution, and also we have been implementing federal form of government and federal structure. We are having in that case, we are dividing our powers. We are dividing certain provisions between the state and center. So here in the form of this parliamentary form of government, the prime minister and member of means cabinet ministers, like council of ministers, are accountable to the parliament. So this prime minister is and council of ministers are only in the when they are majority, they will be in power. If there is lack of majority, they have to resign for their positions. So the government will fall down if there is lack of majority. So the prime minister and the council of ministers will continue their office with the pleasure of majority in the parliament only. So this parliamentary form of government is one of the important salient feature of Constitution of India. And also we are having one more important feature is federal structure with a unitary bias. Means as we discussed, federal means the powers, the constitutional provisions what we need to divide these powers, means provisions which are divided between the central government and state government. That's what we are calling as federal structure. So according to the Article 1, the Constitution of India says that India means India as a union of states. So through this word, federation was not mentioned in the Constitution of India in any part, but the government is structured in the federal form. As we discussed, we are having central government and also we are having state government. So we are having one national government, we are having 29 state governments are there. But according to the federal structure, we are divided constitutionally. According to the constitution, we have been divided many provisions between the center and state. So there is no separate provisions to act as a single manner. So the central government will create laws, and also state governments at the same time will create laws for the sake of the people. But in case of emergency, in case of any emergency has been happened in the any separate state. At that time only, the central government to taken over the administration from that state only. At the in case of emergency, in normal time, the state government will act for the state, and central government will act for entire the nation. So the distribution of powers between the center and state has been clearly and according to the constitution only. So further, at the time, in case of emergency, in the name of national emergency, or in the name of constitutional emergency, that is president rule, at that time only the government administration system has been kept under the hands of central government only. So that's what many experts discussing our constitution as a Indian Federation, like semi-federal features also maintaining. We are also having semi-unitary. So that's what Casey Ware named a modern political thinker has been observed that the Indian constitution, the Indian administration system as a quasi-federal. Quasi-federal means we are having at a time we are having federal features in normal times, and also we are having unitary features at the time of emergency when it arises. So according to the Morris Jones considered it as a cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism means, as we discussed, in normal times the government will be looks like federal government. In emergency time, the entire administration of the whole part of the India or certain parts of the India has been administration has been vested in the hands of central government or in the name of President of India. So that's what we are having at a time, federal and unitary features for the Indian government. And also we are having one of the important feature is fundamental rights. So the fundamental rights is important for the freedom of people of India. So the Constitution of India guaranteed these certain fundamental rights to the citizens of India, which are which we are going to discuss in next chapter in detail from article to article. So here in the part of salient features of Indian Constitution, we have to discuss about the motto of fundamental rights. So the fundamental rights has been borrowed from the Constitution of United States of America and kept under the Constitution of India in part 3 from article 12 to 35 articles. So the fundamental rights of India includes the right to equality, right to freedom, right to exploitation, right against exploitation, and right to religion, and right to cultural and educational rights. And one of the important act right is right to constitutional remedies under the article 32. So these rights are not absolute rights, and every right has a reasonable restriction behind it. So during the time of emergency, these rights can be suspended, and also at the initial stages we are having 7 fundamental rights, like as we discussed 6 fundamental rights. The 7th one is the right to property, that is deleted from the fundamental right and kept as a legal right from 1978 onwards. From in the name of 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, the right to property has been deleted from the list of fundamental rights and kept under Article 300 subclass A as a legal right. So now we are having only 6 fundamental rights are there in our Constitution. So the right to constitutional remedies makes others' rights more real and enforceable. So the entire Indian judiciary system is the acting as a protector of these fundamental rights. So in the name of under Article 32, we are having right to constitutional remedies. In the name of constitutional protection of fundamental rights, we are having 5 types of writs are there, like habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, quo warranto, and prohibition. These 5 types of writs are there to protect the constitutional rights, to provide equality or freedom from the state. So, if something happened to these fundamental rights, or the state government or central government is failing to implementing these fundamental rights, we can approach the higher authorities, like Supreme Court or High Court is acting as a protector of these fundamental rights. We can approach the courts to protect our fundamental rights. So later classes in our in the chapter in next class we will discuss about this writs in detailed. So, and one more feature is fundamental duties. One more important feature is fundamental duties, that is borrowed from the Soviet Russia. At the time of implementation of the constitution, there are no fundamental duties in our original constitution. So later on in 1976, under the in the name of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, we have been added these fundamental duties to the constitution under Article 51 subclass A under Part 4 subclass A. So these duties including abiding to the constitution, respecting the national flag and national anthem, and following the noble ideas of nationalist movement, and defending the country, and the protection and improvement of natural environment, and so on. So there were 11 fundamental duties are there in the constitution. In initial stage, when we are adding these fundamental duties to the constitution under the 42nd Constitutional Amendment in 1976, there are only 10 fundamental duties are there. After in 2002, we are added one more duty, that is about right to education in 2002. So these duties makes the citizens socially conscious and responsible. So we are having one more important feature, that is directive principle of state policy. So this is also important salient feature to the Indian Constitution of India. This feature also we are having as a chapter in our syllabus in Unit 6. We will discuss about in detail. So the Indian Constitution seeks to attain socio-economic justice for its citizens through directive principles of state policy. So these directive principles of state policy system has been borrowed from the Ireland Constitution and kept under the Part 4 of the Indian Constitution under the Article 36 to Article 51. So the Indian Constitution providing these directive principles of state policy from Article 36 to 51, the constitution makers incorporated this principle to direct the state and central government to follow these guidelines in the process of formulating public policies. So when they are making public policies in the name of administration, these principles has been observed, and their goals and the constitutional goals also has been has to show in these public policies. So these principles are aimed at transforming India into a welfare state. In the name of welfare state, both central and state governments has been observed this directive principles of state policy. Like in the name of these directive principles of state policy, we can classify it into different directive principles. Like one is liberal principles, and second one is socialist principles, and third one is Gandhian principles. So some of important principles like free and compulsory education to all children, equal pay and equal work, unemployment relief, pensions for old age people, and assistance for the sick, ensuring adequate means of livelihood, free distribution of wealth, and many principles are there. So these principles are non-justiciable, means fundamental rights are protected by the Supreme Court or High Court, but these directive principles are non-justiciable, means we cannot approach the courts to protect these directive principles of state policy. So, uh, today I am concluding the session. Tomorrow we will discuss remaining salient features of the Constitution, and also we will discuss about the fundamental rights and duties in tomorrow's class. Is there any doubts from this today's class?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for your participation. I am concluding the session.